What's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be going over just a ramble on Swiss Army knives. So, recently I've been getting back into Swiss Army knives. I think they're freaking awesome, and as you all know, for the main reason all of us probably like Swiss Army knives is MacGyver. And I've been getting back into MacGyver here recently, especially the 80s. Versions and series, because the newer one, it's all right, but I just don't like dramas necessarily. Like, I'm not trying to follow a freaking story all the time. I just want to see MacGyver do his MacGyver crap. But I do have to admit, in the new one, I feel like he uses a MacGyver, the new MacGyver, whatever. I feel like he uses the Swiss Army knife a lot more. And I also think the dude uses like a freaking Swiss champ pretty much all the time. Um, so that's kind of cool. But way back in the day when I like first started collecting Swiss Army knives, I would, kind of figure out the ones MacGyver had and try to get those, like a Spartan, a hardwood Spartan, like in Serenity, or like a Tinker or a Tinker Small, Climber, stuff like that. And I've always wanted an executive, but I always figured I could never find them. But I always figured they were a bit too expensive for like how small they were and everything when I was, younger. And um, at this time, I was probably like 13, 14, something like that. I'm like 23 now. And but there was a period in time when I like started giving them away, trading them. I was just into like nicer knives like Spyderco's and Benchmades and just higher quality knives, I guess. But I've broken so many Benchmade knives, dude. It's insane. The Omega Springs do not work for me. Um, but I've never broken a Swiss Army knife. And excuse me. But yeah, so I gave them away, sold them, whatever. And I had my the only one I had kept from there was this standard because it's from the 80s. It has the fluted corkscrew and no tool scales and no key ring. Has the old crossbow and everything logo. It's just really cool. And I hope you guys can see that. Yeah. And so, yeah, I just kept that. I got it in a trade too, like back in the day. And I just thought it was cool because it was from the 80s. It's probably equivalent to something MacGyver would carry. So I was like, all right, bet. So I kept it. Then I was like getting back into Swiss Army knives again, but not really. But I wanted a Pioneer. So I got a Pioneer because I just I like the history behind certain models and like I don't know, just stuff like that. Like this is the original standard issue, like the soldier knife, And I just think that's cool. So that's why I got this. I mean, I don't necessarily use it all the time now. If I were to use it now, I'd pair it up with a compact or a Tinker or an executive, something like that, just because it doesn't have scissors or anything. And the compact, it's great with the compact because you get scissors, you get a nail file, you get what else we got on here? Shoot. Oh yeah, you get the back tools. You don't have an awl on the compact, but you got an awl on the Pioneer. And then your basic opening layer, you lack on the compact because you get the combo tool. And um, I think it's just cool. I think it's a great, companion for each other. And then you don't get tool scales. I think I already said that. But then you get a pen on the compact so you can write. And then they both don't have secondary blades. So with both of them, you just have two blades like on a normal like freaking Tinker, but they're both main blades. So yeah, I don't know. It's just cool. There's not really a lot of repeating tools or redundancy on those, so I like to pair them up. But yeah, so the Pioneer was like my second, I guess, model getting back into them. But my main models, like I said, were like climbers and Spartans. I just like the original like layout, I guess. The corkscrew, in my opinion, just looks better. But I can definitely like a tinker. So, and this is like a custom one. Obviously, it has the micarta scales, which is sweet. But yeah. So I was getting back into Swiss Army knives, whatever. I got the Pioneer, and then yeah, I just didn't really care about Swiss Army knives again. I guess I don't know. I just like regular knives. And then years went by, and then we're here today. And recently, I was ran over at freaking work, and by a forklift, my ankle got messed up, and so I've been home just chilling, watching MacGyver, the old ones mostly, but some of the new ones. And yeah, so I was just like, I still have a Spartan, all that, blah, 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 climber. Because I had a climber, because my buddy gave me a climber a long time ago. And then I got a Huntsman after that, because the climber's sweet, but sometimes, for my job at least, I need a saw. I just need to be able to like cut roots and small tree limbs, stuff like that, because I work at a cemetery and I have to, maintain just a whole bunch of random crap. So the Huntsman, helped out because I had a saw and all that good stuff. But then after that, I was like, I kind of would like something with a lot of tools. I'll try it out, And so I got a Swiss Champ. And there's nothing wrong with this, not gonna lie. I really don't mind it, how big it is. It is kind of chunky, But, it is what it is. You get quite a bit of tools. And this is what got me back into Swiss Army knives again here recently. Well, this and the Executive. I got the Executive off of Amazon not too long ago before they were sold out again. Because for a while, I was looking for an Executive and they didn't have it. They were sold out, but then they brought them back. To my knowledge, I thought they discontinued the 74 millimeter line. And so I guarantee they probably will not restock on Amazon. You'll have to find it on eBay. But I found this from a guy, Mark Kaufman. Great guy. He has a YouTube channel, talks about Swiss Army knives and other things. But I traded him a couple knives or a knife for this, and it's freaking awesome. Old, from the 80s, has, I'll show you and everything, but it has the advertisement on one side, and then, regular Victorinox on the other. And then it's got those nice blue scales. I've never seen an Executive with blue scales, so it's very pretty, And you got your whatever, toothpick and tweezers, and then you get your nail file. Old nail file, too. Compare that. But the older model, the blue one on the bottom, it seems to me that it has more snap and just better quality than the newer one, honestly. It feels like all the tools are stiffer, not stiffer in a bad way, but like just more stronger. The black one just seems to be weaker, in my opinion, especially when you get to the orange peeler. It just seems to be very weak. But I carry this one just because it's a new one, and this one is literally new, just old stock, pretty much. But I like that it's old. As you can see, I struggled with the nail file more than that one. And you can hear that the snap is just louder. But you can see in this, it takes the screw pivot instead of the regular rivet, I guess you could call it. But yeah. So I think that's really cool. If I were to carry any Swiss Army knives on my key ring, it would be something like the Executive. I I just think the 58 millimeter models are just a little small in my opinion, but they're easier to carry on your keys, so it's really not a problem, I guess. But yeah, so the Executive, I love that. MacGyver used that quite a bit in his show, or in the show. And yeah, I thought it was amazing. But then I got the Swiss Champ, and this, I carried this for probably, I don't even know, a month, maybe 3 weeks, and I was like, man, it's just too big, And I just got on the forums, just kept looking, and I ran into a Ranger, and I was like, oh, wow, okay, that's got quite a bit of tools on there that I like, and it's got all the back tools as the Swiss Champ, so all 5 back tools, which is a reamer, you get a hook, you get your smaller flathead, you get a chisel, you get the micro flathead, you get your corkscrew, and I just thought it was cool, you get all those. It's not like there's no spaces in here, so it's very tool dense, and I like that a lot. But with the Ranger, you get the ability to like literally cut anything, because you have your knife, you got your scissors, you got a metal saw right here, you get a wood saw, so you can literally cut anything you need. A chisel, I mean, I don't really know what you're cutting with that, but it's a freaking blade, I guess. But yeah, I really like the Ranger. The Ranger's like, I got this used too, but the Ranger's literally probably like my work. This would replace the Huntsman, because it just adds that other metal saw and then the back tool layer, or tools, and I think it's just awesome for what it is. So the Ranger is like my everyday carry if I'm like getting into crap, just need to do some work stuff, or even around the house. I carry it a lot. I like the Ranger. The Swiss Champ is a great option for like a bag, but in my opinion, I don't really use the pliers that much. They're nice, don't get me wrong, but I really don't use them that much. I like the inline driver, but I don't really use the pliers. I don't really use the fish scaler all that often. And what else do I not use? I mean, the magnifying glass is really cool, but I don't really use it. But yeah, it's just the pliers, and I guess I would say the fish scaler. So that's pretty much it for that. And then it really narrows it down to a Ranger, and that's why I like it. But it doesn't have the Phillips and magnifying glass, which is okay. I wish they would stop making light models like the Spartan Light and Huntsman Light, and just go with like a magnifying glass in it. I don't really know who all likes the little flashlights in there, but I think they're just a little weak, and I don't know, probably don't necessarily work that well. But I've never had one, but they just don't appeal to me. I'd rather have the magnifying glass, if anything. So, but yeah, that's just me. This is a really long video. I did not talk about this, really. I got this at River's Edge not too long ago. I just thought it was cool. I've never had one with micarta scales or anything. So I just thought it was cool. It just looks good. But it's just a Tinker. Doesn't have a spot for the pen, though. Still nice. And then the Compact. The Compact, I think this is just a great everyday carry. It really is. Since I got this, I've just had this in my pocket every day. I have this, and then I dangle that in my right pocket, and then I carry another Swiss Army knife. Probably it's been the Ranger, not gonna lie. But even though it's pretty redundant, I just don't, the combo tool is great and all, but I've only used it for opening bottles. I don't think I'm going to use it for prying or anything. Like, I'm not trying to, risk damaging or bending the blade of it, So, it just opens bottles. Oh, excuse me, guys. Sorry. But, yeah, so that's why I like regular opening layers typically. But, like if you just put that magnifying glass and the Phillips on there and made this back into a Yeoman, I think is what it's called, that would be awesome, man. I would love that. That would just be a great little compact little tool, you know? That would be awesome. Or like the Scientist. The Scientist is cool because it's like a Spartan with a Phillips and magnifying glass. Anyways, like I said, this was a rambling thing. But a good predecessor, I guess you could say, to the compact would be a Climber with plus scales. It's just a little bit thicker. It's 3 layers instead of 2. But instead of the combo tool, you get the regular opening layer, which, in my opinion, is fine, you know? Like I said, it's just easier to use this flathead right here for like prying, a little bit of scraping, your cap lifter, whatever. And it's just thicker, you know? It'll work better, I feel like. And you get a secondary blade. So then you don't need to carry this and a Pioneer or this and a Tinker or something, you know? You just can have this and you're good to go. And then, like I said, plus scales, so you got a pen. You got the hook on the back. So, yeah, all's good. So the Climber and the Compact, in my opinion, are good, like, mainstays. They're good to be, you know, just carried by themselves, but in an urban situation, I would say. But I just like to have the main opening layer as well, so I pair this up with something else. Not a Climber because they both have scissors. It's pretty redundant. But, yeah, so I don't really carry the Climber that much anymore unless I don't know. Unless something happens to this, I guess, then I'll have a backup because it's literally the same thing, like I said. And, right, so I found this discontinued Model 1 recently as well, the LL Bean. It's a Swiss outdoorsman. It still has the bail, locking. It's a locking knife, and as well as it's a 83 millimeters is what I think they are, not 84. Pretty sure it's 83. But I'm non-serrated. The serrated model would be the regular outdoorsman. And it also replaces this 2D Phillips driver with a clip point blade. But I don't mind the Wenger scissors. I think they're kind of cool. They feel good. And I like how it has like a second click kind of deal. So like the handle doesn't get stuck when you're trying to like push it down. It just goes together good. I like that. The saw, I do not like the saw on this. They have like these little nubs right here. You can't get your fingernail in there. I mean, okay, I guess you can if they're long enough. But yeah, I do not do that. You have to use this little nail nick, but it's behind the scissors. You can like barely get it. So it's whatever, but it works. I mean, it's a very small saw compared to like the Victorinox. This is 91 millimeter. This is 83. So you can see that they are just a bit different. Just a bit. And then, like I said, locking blade has this little button right here. Old Wenger logo. And this one has a fish scaler. This one's literally a Ranger. Kind of, besides the back tools. But the basic whatever tool layers. This is like a Ranger, but it just doesn't have a file. It has the fish scaler, which is okay. And the fish scaler is more like a pokey, forky thing you could use to get a freaking olive out of a jar. It's just like pointy, you know, compared to the fish scaler on the Victorinox. It's just more polished and less forky, I guess you could say. So, yeah, doesn't have a measuring, doesn't have a ruler on either side. These are more whatever you would call that, or more aggressive, I guess you would say. Yeah. They appear to be less aggressive, but they feel more aggressive. Weird. Anyways, but yeah, that's pretty much it. That pretty much sums up this little ramble. If you guys are interested in any more Victorinox or Swiss Army knife videos, let me know. I would love to be making them, talking. I think it's interesting and fun. But yeah, if you guys are interested, just let me know and I'll keep making them.